Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
Lucesses.
Moose? I don't actually know. I'm just truly making it up.
What's the plural of moose? Oh, you have to say "Hey Siri" first.
Hey Siri.
God, it's gonna say "Read it yourself, bitch."
What's the plural of moose?
Here's what I found from Grammarly.com. The only correct plural of moose is moose.
You were right.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is no plural for moose.
You know your moose plurals.
I'm from moose country, man.
Which means thousands
Yeah.
in this case.
That's right.
That's awesome.
They're everywhere you look.
How come Siri sometimes reads it and sometimes it's like, yeah, I found it. You're gonna have to read it yourself, idiot.
I don't know how the fuck it works.
It's so frustrating.
I truly don't know.
I wrote down bay leaf vibes. I wrote
Oh.
down Siri gives bay leaf vibes.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like, yeah, you know it's there, but it doesn't really do much. And when it does, you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to keep using you.
But why is it in everything then?
A bay leaf?
Why are bay leaves crucial in everything?
Ultimate scam, just like Siri.
I don't know. I feel like it does something important that we don't know about.
The bay leaf?
Yeah, we gotta have a chef on here to tell us, like, what the fuck good is a bay leaf anyway? It's in all the things.
It's in every sauce,
It's in every soup.
but it never stays in. You have to pull it back out.
Well, yeah, you don't eat it.
That's what I'm saying, which is why I feel like it's like bullshit. Because like it's like if you're dropping it in there, then if you're that important, you should stick around. And he doesn't, or she does. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Siri and bay leaves are the same.
Coming out hot against bay leaves.
And Siri.
Well, it's a moose.
We're back, baby. What up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
Awesome. Welcome back to Weed and Grub, everybody. This is a podcast about comedy,
Cannabis,
culture,
cooking,
calling shit out,
and a cornucopia of topics because we've been away for a long time.
100%. When I say welcome back, it's because we just did evergreen episodes before this because we've been traveling for 4 months now.
10,000 years.
10,000 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I aged back around.
So you're the same?
Uh-huh. I like aged to the end of my life, died, was reborn, and then aged another to where I am now. And here we are.
Wow.
Yep.
So you're like 5 minutes older.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Time travel.
In time travel years.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
How old are you in time travel years?
Back around. I'm an infinite loop is how old I am.
That's fucking beautiful.
Wow. Yeah.
That's really
I'm
beautiful.
Presently high and it makes I'm presently high. I'm perfectly high and it makes present sense to me. You know what I'm trying to say.
I do, because I'm watching Sandman on Netflix.
Okay.
Because I love the comic so much. Neil Gaiman, The Sandman.
Yeah.
If you have not read it, it's one of those everyone should read it until the end of time books.
It's one of the few graphic novels that I actually know anything about because I feel like it was that sort of cultural impact when it came out, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it for me, not only like the stories itself, but the main character Dream is dream of the endless. And there's all of these deities who are part of the endless, whether it's desire, despair, it's all of these endless things. Dreaming and like the idea of having hope and dream is one of them. And so when you say I am
An infinite
loop, I
Mhm.
immediately think about how correct you really are.
That's fucking cool. Because I do actually, when I said that, I felt like, oh, that's exactly right. I am an infinite loop. And I find great comfort in that, right? Like it just actually like weirdly kind of alleviated a little bit of anxiety even in just saying it. It was funny. I wasn't even thinking, man, weed is so awesome for that.
Weed rocks.
It'll just loosen up that funny little piece of flotsam or jetsam that's stuck in a weird area inside you and you don't even know until you get, presently and perfectly baked with a friend and have a good conversation that it'll just rattle loose.
Really well
Right?
said. I think so, especially in terms of like time and importance and staying present, which
Right.
makes you not able to think about time.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
feel you on that. Yeah. The infinite loop thing is interesting because I always think of Jerry Seinfeld's quote
Oh.
about how he feels so much freedom in feeling insignificant.
Yes.
He keeps the story goes something like in his and Larry David's office on Seinfeld, he'd keep a photo of a spaceship or the moon, something vast and far away.
Right.
And some writer said that gives him so much anxiety because of how small it makes him feel and insignificant. And Jerry said, "Oh, that's so interesting because that small insignificantness means complete freedom to me to do whatever I want.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with your one wild and precious life, right? Like it doesn't, yeah, it's fucking cool. Do you know the pale blue dot, the Carl Sagan famous, I can't quote it, but it's that idea of like, if you're looking at Earth from way, way out, we are a pale blue dot. And then you are a tiny piece of that pale blue dot. And it's a whole thing. I can't explain
Do you
it,
find
but it's
comfort in that?
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Feeling like a tiny part of the whole thing is very comforting for sure. Yeah.
I think too, especially because we've been around a lot of people in a lot of different cities in a lot of different countries all over the world recently.
Mhm.
And the one thing that everyone kept saying is coming out of the pandemic, how old they feel and how their age is a deep reflection of a lot of like regret and lost time, not because of lockdown, because of COVID, because of like, we all lost at least 2 years of our life, like all of it. And you kept coming back to a lot of them and saying that has nothing to do with your age. That has to do with a feeling, which I'm not going to, what's the word? I'm not gonna dignify you saying that it's because of your age that those things are the thing. It's because of the things that you want to do, but don't tie that into
Being old.
time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think, well, I get frustrated when people confuse the difference between being tired and being old. They're not the same thing. Feeling tired, you're older than you were yesterday even, and you're always going to be older. Every day you wake up, you're going to be older, but it doesn't mean you're actually, like for me, old is, and I've said this on here a million times, old is when you stop learning. It's when you stop growing. It's when you ossify and
Who's Lil
calcify
Nas X?
and you harden, right?
Yeah.
And like, so, I always talk about my dad and how he never really got old because he was always, like talking about the Beach Boys and how awesome he discovered the Beach Boys to be just, a couple months before he died. So it was like, he was always just like up to, anyway, I don't need to get on a whole thing about my dad because I always talk about him and how much I love him, but like
It's
big
interesting
part
to
of
bring
it.
him up as the reboot of Avatar is right now.
Oh yeah, because
So-
he found such joy in that, and I think that the thing that I really love, always remembering about him was that like he just was always learning and updating and growing and being flexible and fucking so. When I hear people my age, like people who are in their 40s, people in their 30s saying, especially post-pandemic, like, I'm so old. It's like, yikes. If you're saying that now, then you're going to be old for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and you're not even at a near thing of your life.
Yeah, like you're not. You might be in the middle somewhere, but like if you're saying you're old when you're in the middle, then you're condemning yourself to the back half of your whole life. You're just old. You were young, and now you're just fucking old. Like,
It's
what
crazy.
a weird thing to say about yourself. Just like acknowledge maybe that you're weary or that you're tired, but like don't box yourself into that weird corner where you're like not able to do things anymore because of your chronological age of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, you are an infinite loop.
yeah.
Damn, that's awesome. I like the idea of like I'm actually 1.6 million years old with
Yeah.
many lives that I have lived and will continue to live beyond this.
Some people believe that's the absolute truth.
I
what you just
absolutely
said.
believe that.
You do?
Reincarnation?
Yeah.
Oh man. Video games are a direct reflection of how life actually is, and we are using the idea of video games to explain how life actually works. And I
Okay.
truly believe that. I think like if art comes from experience, then a video game where you level up and power up and grow and evolve is a direct reflection of how the life cycle actually is, from fucking seed to plant to death to soil again, and then you come back even more powerful and your genetic code continues to evolve and get rid of the fucking chaff and only cook on the hot stuff. Like all of that is 100% true. So whatever I'm going to come back as, my job in this life is to accelerate my evolution of Mike Glazer as far as I can so that when I die, the next version of me has an even better life.
Okay.
I fucking have believed that for a very long time.
So you feel like you've had a string of human lifetimes and that this current human lifetime that you're existing in is another iteration that will then be followed by further human lifetimes of the person who's inhabiting this current meat cage.
100%.
Okay.
Where it gets complicated for me is, was I ever a mouse? Was I ever an octopus? Was I ever a whale?
Mm-hmm.
And for those, maybe it is another evolution of a meat cage, and human is somewhere in that bevy of meat cages.
Right.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
I absolutely believe that there will be 1 million more of me, and hopefully they're better because of the version before.
Cool.
I'm a rough draft. I'm a first draft at best. Maybe second with a couple notes.
I finished though?
finished
Like
draft.
a completed draft?
Oh yeah, there's 120 pages to it, but
Someone wrote the end.
yeah, 100% fade
Okay.
out.
Cool.
Yes, there is a fade out. But there's a lot of words in there, and we could lose a bit of the second half of the second act. Know what I mean?
Yeah, we could definitely. Yeah, I'm
Tighten
sure.
it up.
If all of us are first drafts, we could cut a third. I could definitely do with a third cut out.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. All those regrets that swim through my brain at night every time I lie down and I'm thinking about something that didn't go the way I want, I could just cut those out.
Yeah, you can.
Yep.
Or you could embrace and absorb them and learn from them.
Ugh, that sounds like a lot of work.
No, that's evolution.
Well, that's why I smoke weed.
Agreed. Which also, like, to talk a little bit about our travels.
Oh man.
I did not fly with any weed at all because I was so fucking nervous. Again, fucking get Brittany out of goddamn prison,
Yep.
please. I know I'm nowhere near on her level, but I'm a human being who does not want to be in jail for something that they should not be in jail for ever.
Brittany Griner, yep, out of jail immediately.
And I absolutely could have and should have flown with a shitload of fucking weed everywhere.
I don't know about that.
No?
Can you say more about that?
Well, when we took the trains all over fucking Amsterdam and Paris and London and all that, on the train, nobody checked for anything.
right.
On the planes, Amsterdam's airport security was so low key. They were like, I was like, do I need to take off my shoes? They go, nah. And I was like, I don't want to use your machine. I don't trust those machines. I think they give you cancer. And he was like, okay. And then he just kind of like gently patted me down and I moved on my way. You know, I could be a drug mule is what I'm saying.
Right. I just think the flying internationally and landing and going through customs and all that kind of stuff is where you can really get a little messed up, and I don't think it's worth it.
You
to
don't?
fly. No, I mean, I know I have flown with weed many times, but I don't necessarily think that I don't think that I would ever advise anyone to do so. I mean, I guess you weigh your own risks and you figure out what you're willing to.
It wasn't worth it for me, but then I was also without weed for so much.
I
and
beg
that
your
was,
pardon.
I wasn't going to say it if you weren't going to say it.
I mailed you weed.
Yeah, you did.
You can't say that you were without weed. I made sure you had weed.
I was protecting you on this podcast
You
against
absolute
self-incrimination.
lunatic. Hell no, I mailed you a shit ton of weed.
Yeah, you did.
Made sure that you had weed and that there would be weed for me when I showed up.
Yeah, you did.
Come on.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
What are we talking about here?
Okay, then we can talk the truth on this.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the most beautiful package to get. Thank you so much for it.
You're very welcome.
Also, all of my new friends I made in Edinburgh during Fringe. Ooh, I felt like I was walking down Mount Sinai with the tablets on that
That's
shit.
right.
With those edibles I had in hand. Yeah,
It was good. And I was very careful to disguise them because I knew that the package would probably be opened when going through customs. So I won't say what they were, but I chose edibles that I could sort of camouflage as something else. And I sent them as the something else and they made it through. But you could see that someone had been, that the package had been opened, right?
Everything was opened and then resealed with U.S. Customs tape. Official tape.
Wow.
Yeah. So thank you. And also, yeah. It was awesome.
I don't advise that anyone do this. It is not, it's definitely against the law. But also I wasn't going to be like a weed-free summer. Hell no.
No. It was, I know that people say weed is non-addictive or this is and that's.
Right.
I just want to go on record and say I was a crabby little bitch after the first week. The first week I was fine. I was drinking, I was partying, I was having a great time. I was in culture shock. So weed would have definitely helped with all of that. But my second fucking week in Edinburgh without weed and having settled in, I was a crabby little bitch. And I absolutely felt withdraw from weed. And I will chalk a lot of it up to the idea of some kind of addictive feeling to it. And I think that I just want to bring that up on here because I want that to at least be known that was my experience.
A dependency, I would say, rather than an addiction, right?
That's so much, yeah.
You feel a dependency on weed to feel the way that you want to feel.
Yes.
Okay. That's
absolutely. And when I'm not feeling that way, I don't like myself as much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the distinction.
Well, I just feel like, like you can, like an addiction, one thing, it has a negative connotation, right? Like it denotes an addiction to something that's actually going to harm you. But you can say that you're dependent on any kind of medication, right? And so you can say that you need cannabis to make you feel that the way you want to feel, especially if you're thinking about it as a beneficial supplement in your life, the way that, some people are just medical marijuana patients and that's truly like they need it to function because of whatever it is that they're using it to treat. I would say that, maybe you feel that dependency because you need it in some way for your fucking health. But also that could be argued that maybe it's not a great thing and you should be able to take a break. But you did just step away from it for a month. So you know that you can do it.
But the argument against taking a break is I understand the idea of everything in moderation, but I also think that that's bullshit, because to be double vulnerable on here about it, I also stopped taking my other medication while I was there. And you immediately knew when you came to Edinburgh, and like you knew something was wrong with me, but you didn't know what the fuck was going on. And me not taking that other medication that I am dependent on truly made for a miserable experience, not only for me but everyone around me. And so the idea of like dependency being a bad thing, no, in some cases it actually makes the puzzle fit better.
Right.
You know?
And I think that exactly. And I mean, thank you for wanting to talk about it, because I think like it is such an important distinction to make with the anti-cannabis faction, is that you can actually require cannabis, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you are addicted. It means that it is that puzzle piece. Like that is very cool to hear and think about in that way.
And also real. We don't need to go more into it, but thanks for waiting through that time with me until I got back on my shit.
Here for all of it, always. That's what we do for each other.
It really is.
It really is. You're making me think too of a good friend. I'd love to have him on the pod sometime. Rezwan Khan. He's fucking awesome. Weed activist now, came up through the game running Seedless, and like just has been an OG in the cannabis space for a really long time. And I went and hung out with Rez in San Diego at one point, and he smokes so much. I mean, he smokes more weed than anyone I've ever met. And I've met people who smoke all the weed.
No shit.
And he at one point was talking, and he was like, no, it's like my spinach. Like this literally is what makes me, and he functions at such an incredibly, an executive level, truly. And he was like, without that puzzle piece, I just can't function. And it was so interesting because he was, like such a hardcore cannabis smoker. And it was just really interesting. It's like, it's cool to think about how for some people, that's the puzzle piece.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's a corner piece.
It's a corner piece for you?
Yeah, it's an edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it builds the framework.
I feel like it's become it's a puzzle piece for me, but for me it's like a small it's like the dog's foot in the puzzle.
Yeah.
And then the corner piece for me has become mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
In the past few months.
No shit. All right. Say more about that, please.
I mean, I feel like it all started, it all started a long time.
Oh, here we go. Infinite Loop.
A decade ago, Infinite Loop, when I was a Burning Man. No. But no, the first time I microdosed was just like I found a stem in my pocket on the way to a dinner party, like probably a decade ago now. And I was like, I ate it and then just had like a great time at a dinner party where I was nervous about seeing some people. Left that, and I never thought about it again until then I heard about people who were actually really microdosing. And then Reggie Harris came on this podcast. We microdosed with Reggie, and that shifted a lot for me this year. And then since then we could talk about the Oakland Psychedelics Conference and what we got up to there, but it was like more learning about mushroom as medicine, because historically I've sort of used it as a substance that hasn't necessarily been like therapeutic.
It's an exploder. Use it as an exploder.
Like as a hardcore reset. But now like taking it as a part of my sort of vitamin supplement regimen, which I have been doing in the past couple of months, has been really helpful. So I feel like that's been my cornerstone. As
a regimen, are you doing like one microdose pill every handful of days for a little sparkle?
Yeah, every third day. And then I just found out about a regimen that I'm going to try where it's 3 days on and 4 days off.
Okay.
And so I've just got to get some new supplements on hand to be able to do that. But yeah, it's been cool experimenting with that. And then weed has just been crucial for me to sleep.
Yeah.
An
edible at night?
An edible at night.
Hell yes. Hell yes. On the microdose tip, I drank so much in Edinburgh during Fringe.
Alcohol?
Oh my God, so much.
Right.
It's more boozy than Chicago, which is hard for me to even wrap my head around because Chicago is like built on hard work and alcohol. But man, Edinburgh, I mean, also it's a Fringe, so it's just artists and no consequences, and you're seeing plays and you're running around. Like it's chaos. It's the way Julian, who I did Edinburgh with, Julian Stern, he's been on the pod. He was like, oh, it's just summer camp for adults. Got it. with no consequences. And so I drank, well, we gave out free whiskey every night to the crowd. And it's
Yeah.
like, not like I'm not going to drink whiskey with the crowd every fucking night, but 30 days of that and then traveling afterwards, I just was like swimming up to my gills. It was pouring out of my gills. And so as soon as I got back here, I was like, no booze, no nothing, clean living. Fuck this. I need a hard reset. And microdosing gave me that hard fucking reset so that I wasn't just like human, the type of human who's like not doing his best.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like microdosing really elevated me so that I could function and I could just have a really good time, but also not be dwelling inside my own fucking brain about my own life.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
I'm fully with you on the alcohol. It just hasn't been serving me. So I'm actually going to do not sober October, but like California sober October.
What does that mean?
Just plant medicine.
Oh,
Just mushrooms and weed and anything that's like sourced from plants.
yeah.
Cali sober. And yeah, I'm just going to do a month without alcohol and see where that goes. And I'm not committing to anything beyond that month, but I just really want to see, like, it's been a really long time since I've had, like an extended break from alcohol. And for sure, like Edinburgh was boozy as fuck and fun and wonderful. And I'm glad that I allowed myself to just be as like debauched as I fucking wanted to be. And it was really great. And then again, we just had like a weekend in Vegas at the Clio Cannabis Awards. And you know, you're in Vegas. Like, I'm not going to say no to a late night cocktail on the casino floor when I'm winning on Buffalo. Buffalo. So, but also, really recognizing that almost everything that I can point to in my life that I'm like not quite happy with could be linked in some way to me, like just like I'm going to step away from alcohol for
Numbing out.
Exactly right. Like I truly and not to get it like too deep into it, but like this year you know, has been really hard. I think anyone who listens to this podcast certainly knows that, like, as all of us go through it together in the world, I also on a personal level with some family stuff and losing my sister have been like really going through it. And for sure, like you know, sometimes the feelings are very big and a lot to feel, and I definitely want to run away from them. So
Yeah.
I
You don't
think
run
anyone
towards
can
the
understand
bullets.
that. Yeah,
You're out of your mind.
it's hard.
That's not how the Roadrunner survives.
Yeah, it's hard. So I just really do try and give myself that sort of like not to judge myself for it or be too hard on myself for it. Because as my awesome therapist always says, she's like, you know, people who have sort of like the load that I have, she's like, you just treat your medicating a little differently. Sometimes, you know, you just have a bit of a different relationship to it. So I'm fully acknowledging that. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, just take a month off some booze and just edibles, microdosing, walks in the park, time with the dog, time with friends, all that good stuff.
If you're saying this on our very first episode of October, can we do a follow-up the last episode of October?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Although it was great, guys.
We were recording at 9 a.m.
3 Negronis in, just like, No, I mean, honestly, I know it's going to feel great because
You're 10 minutes in.
I fucking love you, Mike. The last time I took a month off was actually, I think 2 years ago at this time. And I remember how fucking awesome it felt. So I'm just hoping for more of that.
I think the cool thing too is a lot of people, I think at that time who listened to the pod, they were also going to try Whole30 while you were trying Whole30. And the idea of needing it to be Whole30 every time isn't necessarily true either. I like that as well, because that to me, something like Whole30 is like so far in the other spectrum of discipline that it doesn't even sound fucking fun to me. Not interested. I don't know why I brought it up if I hate it. Sorry, but you know.
Yeah, I feel you. I think like I just
I'm gonna smoke because I don't know why I said that.
What, you don't know why you said that you hate Whole30?
Yeah.
Because clearly you're traumatized by your experience of doing Whole30. Or did you feel like I forced you into it somehow?
No, I didn't do it.
Oh. So you just have hot opinions about how much you hate it even though you've never done it? Huh. Interesting.
I hated it for you.
You hated it for me because clearly I was miserable?
Were you miserable?
No, I thought it was fucking, well, you know, it's like any of those things. Here's what I truly like feel about Whole30 is that it's something that people do in order to lose weight or like fix their lives in some way. And I think that, you know, if you are someone who is already very, very healthy and like living, you know, the sort of where your relationship with food feels in balance and all that kind of stuff, it's probably like pretty cool to do. But when you're someone like me who's a little out of balance, and I definitely like food as a source of comfort for me and all that kind of stuff, it feels like punching myself in the face.
Yeah.
It really does. And especially when I'm just like I've often tried to like reset my relationship to food with something like Whole30. It doesn't necessarily work for me because like I'm also not the kind of person who's going to go to a month-long meditation retreat. Like I need something that works for me in my day-to-day, and that's what this is. And that's what microdosing mushrooms is, and that's what going for a hike is, or like, you know, just all of the little things that I can do. But that big kind of swing feels like too much, and it feels like if I fuck it up, then I'm like also like punching myself for that. So I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes you need spark plugs on your nipples, but you don't need it all the time.
Right.
You know?
You like spark plugs on your nipples?
Yeah, like sometimes a nice shock to the system is exactly what you need.
Okay.
Your soul needs some fucking shock plugs.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. But like you don't want 30 days of shock plugs on your nipples.
Yeah, no, I just need to take LSD one day and then I'm fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, I think that's what you made me think of is like at the end of this, all of this like kind of self-help stuff that we're talking about right now, I could boil it down to I need mushrooms and deep laughter with people I care about and care about me.
Mhm.
And that will do for me the same as going to confession, the same as a Whole30,
Yep.
the same as any of the things that everyone uses to feel good. Mushrooms and deep laughs with friends is the most healing thing I can think of.
I think it's so interesting that you said going to confession. Is that like going to therapy?
Oh, well, sure. Even that.
Right.
100%.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Confession therapy. Yeah, for sure. Because
Mhm.
that's what I use therapy for, is to say all the things that I'm not saying out loud
Mhm.
and to unpack them and explore what makes me tick. So I have to confess to who I am to
Right.
see where the clock is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also making me think of that, like that deep laugh and how restorative it is, because when we were just in Vegas for the Clio Cannabis Awards, which was incredible, and congratulations to everyone who won a Clio Cannabis Award. And we were roaming around, and I was feeling so overwhelmed by Las Vegas and tired after 2 months of being on the road. And I'd had some, you know, drinks and everything. But then we ran into our friends from Fruit Slabs.
Fucking Brandon.
Fucking Brandon and Maggie from Fruit Slabs hooked it up on the casino floor and gave us 3 packages of medicine.
Fruit Slabs, picture fruit by the foot, but cut into squares.
It's fruit leather.
Yeah.
It's like fruit roll-ups.
10 millis each.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And they have this, and this is not an ad for them, but go buy
that.
their sour flavor. I think it's called Aqua Melon, and it's rapid onset. Saved my life and also filled me up, because at the like late in the night, you said something, I can't even remember what it was. Oh, I remember what it was. But anyway, I laughed so hard that I felt my
what'd I say? That was funny.
I felt my skeleton kind of melt, and I was like, there it is. That's the laugh that I needed. Like I'm almost peeing a little. I'm not really making any sound. All my bones feel like they're liquid. This is perfect. It was you called Mission Impossible. Oh fuck, what was it?
I remember.
Okay, what was it?
Rude Awakening.
Rude Awakening.
I couldn't remember the name.
Because we just seen a fucking trailer for it. It's Mission Impossible. Is it Dead Reckoning?
Dead Reckoning.
Okay. And you're like, yeah, Mission Impossible, Rude Awakening. And oh man, it just hit me so fucking perfectly. You're in for a rude awakening.
Tom
Cruise, Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, that's such a tisk, tisk, tisk.
You're in for a real rude awakening.
Watch it, Buster.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was fucking great.
Whatever. You were the one who couldn't remember the term night owls.
Oh. And I called them LATEY-BIRDs.
Yeah.
Like LATEY-BIRDs.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And yeah, you were like, I truly have no, and I was like, they're up late. LATEY-BIRDs. It turns out it was
you mean
night owls. Mhm. And weed. It was great though. Those are the kind of laughs you need.
Oh, man.
Medicine for the soul.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little about travels? Do you want to do some news? Where are you
Oh
at?
yeah, this is a good spot to do the Grub Gazette, because it's a great news story.
Can I munch on some sumo while we do it?
Please do. And this broke while we were out of town. Otherwise, I would have tried to write about this, because this was a huge story that could be big news. We'll see. how it goes. But basically, there's been a new bill introduced by two congressmen that would authorize, if weed goes federally legal, the ability for licensed small batch producers to ship and sell direct to consumers in states and jurisdictions that allow cannabis. So first off, follow at Origins Council, which is a group here in California that's just doing amazing like policy work and advocacy work on behalf of small farmers, and they're connected to the Mendocino Cannabis Alliance, and they're just doing great work. And so follow them for more news like this. But the story I'm reading is from Marijuana Moment, and the headline is "Small Marijuana Growers Could Sell Directly to Consumers Across State Lines." And basically, Representative Jared Huffman and Representative Earl Blumenauer have introduced this legislation, which is called the SHIP Act, Small Homestead Independent Producers. And basically, it would...
I'd keep that on the low.
Why?
It's good as an acronym, SHIP.
Yeah.
But they should find other words for that.
What are you talking about? Small and Homestead Independent Producers is a great name.
You're forcing
Dude, this is policy. They're not trying to be cool. It's not like a record that's dropping. This is like legislation. They need a cooler name. Just get out of here. So anyway, from Marijuana Moment, as Congress continues to work toward ending cannabis prohibition, there have been concerns that smaller businesses will struggle to compete against the multi-state operators that can quickly expand, like those big businesses that can level up really quickly and then basically dominate the market. As soon as weed goes federal, it's those big organizations that are going to be able to snap up like the largest part of the consumer base.
There will be no small business.
Right. So this act, the SHIP Act, great name, guys, is designed to minimize that risk and maximize opportunities for smaller farms. Basically, they don't want to leave family farmers behind, and they want to allow small businesses to compete and succeed in a fully legalized cannabis market. So if it goes through, it would depend on federal legislation going through, and then this would pass in order to regulate those farmers being able to ship across state lines. And it's fucking really cool news because these guys really do care about cannabis. These two Congress people have been working really hard.
Yeah.
For like good cannabis policy that'll be good for small farmers.
When that happens, what's the lead time? Is there a lead time before big business can just like play the game?
Well, so cannabis is still illegal at the federal level, like it's still Schedule 1. So there are
this
so
would just
many
be
steps.
The states.
This
doesn't rely on federal legalization.
Yes, it does. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When cannabis. If and when cannabis becomes federally legal at a federal level from the federal government, this would go into play.
The people who came up with that homestead thing.
Man, you're hard to talk to sometimes. Dude.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I just tried to say everything really clearly and it's like you don't understand.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I like get so bored with real information that I need to like overcomplicate it to keep myself entertained.
Cool.
Yeah. That's just, I heard Mark laugh at that.
Well, I'm going to stop talking about serious stuff because you're not like, it's hard.
Yeah. This is why I'm tough in business settings.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Right.
To be serious.
You just like go away and it's like, yo, why am I?
Yeah. Life is a game.
Right. For some.
For some. The small business tip, to be very serious. You wrote about this kind of thing in Rolling Stone. On a different path with a different kind of story to tell, but a very similar.
I didn't write about policy.
Government.
I wrote about how the small cannabis farmers are suffering under the California regulations, specifically the farmers in the Emerald Triangle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And taxes here are so fucking crazy that something like interstate, where you can like not just like sell to your block, but you can sell to many blocks in many different places, would help out small businesses so much because they are. They're all disappearing. That's my serious tip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know I'm repeating you, but I'm trying to be serious. And so if I have to be serious, mostly I'm just going to regurgitate something smart that you said.
This is hilarious. I've missed you, Mike.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome, because I'm spiraling right now. It's pretty fun.
It's a good one. It's a good one. We're spicy.
Yeah.
It's fun.
This would also be good for our sponsor, TSUMo Snacks.
Oh yeah, this is shout out Sumo because I had a handful of these a while back and I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
So
If you want to
Sumo-
try them, vote on this policy.
Sumo, yes.
Really?
Currently available at dispensaries throughout California and sumosnacks.com. You can go and check out all the flavors. They'll send you non-medicated samples. We've got 3 different flavors here. This is the chili limon, which is one of their newer flavors.
Fiery hot.
Yep.
Also, salsa verde, which is my favorite. Chili limon is second because it does taste like chili cheese Fritos.
Yep.
Salsa verde rocks. Also, it's a circle chip, which means it's great for dunking and scooping.
Mm-hmm. And the chili limon, they are all different shapes.
Yeah.
That's cool. The chili limon, I think we decided will be great crumbled up on top of the sour cream layer of a 7-layer dip.
Yes. I have another one for the chili limon flavor
Okay,
that
let's
you've
hear it.
just inspired.
Oh.
Fucking elote.
Ooh.
If you took the corn and you
Mhm.
roasted the corn and then you slathered it in the mayonnaise and the butter,
Yep.
and then you crumbled that up and you rolled chili limon TSUMo Snacks on
Mhm.
some fucking elote,
Should I just take my shirt off right now
and do what?
and just start masturbating? It just sounded so good.
Sumo elote.
Yeah.
So good that.
So good it'll make you take your shirt off.
So come on by. CUMONBI.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
SumoSnacks.com, at Sumo Snacks on Instagram.
Yep. They're the greatest. I also went to a party that they had, or a party, like a disc golf tournament that they had in East LA to launch their new flavors, and it was super fun. But also, I remember that I can't throw things
Oh, really?
without throwing them behind me.
Wait, so if we were in the park and you were walking Archie and he was playing and a frisbee landed near you,
Yep.
and
I
the
couldn't
people
throw it back.
You couldn't throw it back.
No, don't ask me to throw it back.
Would you walk it over? What are you talking about?
I would. Oh, would I walk it over? I probably would walk it over.
No.
Or I might roll it. But if
That's
if
even worse than trying.
if your frisbee lands near me in the park,
Oh my god.
yeah, don't ask me to throw it back to you because it's something to do in where you release it in the trajectory of like, I know how to throw a frisbee,
Okay.
not well. I can't do the snap or anything, but I can like aim a disc. But somewhere I just don't know how to let go of it on time. I either let go of it way too early, so it ends up over there, or way too late. Either way, it's going behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't throw a frisbee.
Mm-mm.
I like the idea of like certain vests being worn in the park.
Yeah. Stay away, like frisbee off. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not throw frisbees near me.
Don't.
It's a green vest.
Yeah.
Frisbee and an
Or have
X
you ever
through it.
seen those little vests that people put on their dogs that are like coyote?
Oh, yeah.
They ward them off with the like, it's like a vest with like spikes on the back. So if
Absolutely.
a coyote tries to bite your dog, it'll get a mouthful of spikes.
Yeah.
It would be like a vest, but just with a bunch of spikes off me to be like, don't get your fucking frisbee. I can't throw it back to you.
That sounds so funny.
I can't do it.
All you got to do is picture where to let it go and then let it go where you picture it.
I've tried.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Got it.
I'm highly susceptible to suggestions. So listen, did you see that thing that I put on my Instagram story with the brainstorm green needle thing?
No.
Ah, fuck. If anyone is listening who knows what this is, please write to me on DM me and tell me how this fucking works. There's basically a sound that plays and you hear one of two things, and it's whichever thing you're either looking at or thinking about. Same sound.
So you heard either brainstorm
Or
or
green needle.
whoa.
And it's like the yellow or Yanny Laurel thing. Do you remember that a couple years ago?
I do remember that.
Or
yeah.
the blue dress, gold dress thing?
Yeah. But
It's
this
like that,
is
but it's-
whatever you're looking at and hearing is the
Mhm.
one that you hear.
Yes.
That's
And
wild.
it's true and it works and it's crazy. But I'm highly susceptible to suggestions. So I feel like I should be able to tell my brain where to aim the frisbee and it'll just go there. But
Mhm.
no, it doesn't work.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm like a chameleon. Like it can only open one way very slowly. And it's always at the wrong time. No good.
Oh man. Friend of the show, Joel Hadley,
Yeah.
one of the best ultimate frisbee players. He played in college, D1 for Alabama.
Yeah.
There was pictures of him diving into the end zone with long hair flowing behind him
Oh
in a
my
headband,
God. Yeah.
catching it in the end zone, just fucking ripped and muscular and winning. And he's like he smokes more weed than anyone I know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also one of the best ultimate frisbee players. I think he was nationally ranked in college.
Holy shit. Really?
Yeah, dude's really good at ultimate frisbee. If
Wow.
you were ever to play frisbee with him, he would never play with you. What am I even
What are
saying?
you talking about? He's going to hear this and he's going to be like, I can't even be seen with you. I mean, like, I'm sorry, we're friends, but no.
Yeah, Joel, you want to go to the beach? He's like,
Who's going?
No.
Yeah, no.
Huh.
No, I'm good with other things on the beach. Like I'm good with volleyball. I'm good with what's the paddle ball thing?
Sure.
Yeah, I can't, it's the disc. Can't do it.
Can you throw a baseball or a football?
Yeah, I mean, I played water polo like at a high level.
This is so weird. It's your hand is just lower.
It's a different action. The wrist sideways thing. You don't do that with water polo. It's always overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or yeah, I don't.
Wild.
know
Your
how it
arm
works.
doesn't work sideways.
That's correct.
Got it. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. There was other things that we were going to talk about on here.
Oh, for sure. Let's look at our list. We have topics. We came prepared. It's been a minute since we did this, but I was so excited. Oh yeah, there's some good stuff in here.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh man, there's a lot.
Some of this is just making me laugh because it's just bits that we were doing. Okay. Let's talk about your Uber rating, Mike.
Are we really going to get into it?
Listen,
Fuck, man.
I'm holding you accountable for a bunch of stuff. We got to talk about your Uber rating. We have to. Do you know what it is yet?
I do.
You looked.
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
Okay. Preface this with, on the road this summer, you've been taking a lot of Ubers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you haven't been driving.
No.
You've been on tour.
Yeah.
Taking Ubers multiple times a week.
Multiple times a day. Like,
Oh.
because, it's location to location. It's
Mhm.
not like to the bar and back. It's like, I need to go to the grocery store. I'm running errands through Ubers.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when I met up with you in Edinburgh, and we took a lot of cabs and local stuff too, but like we had to take Ubers a couple of times in Edinburgh. And how did it come up that, how did we do, we have
Because,
some.
okay, damn it. Fine, Mary Jane. So 2 people canceled on me
Right.
while we were waiting. And then when you put it through and you ordered it, ding, immediately people are like, ooh, yum, yum, yum. This will be a nice ride with whoever this is.
Mhm.
And you were like, Jesus, dude, what is your rating? Like, why did 2 people cancel on you? And I was like, well, why did yours, why does everyone love you so much? Like, ew. And it turns out you have a very good rating. And you're like, what's your rating? I was like, I'm not even going to look. And I wouldn't give it any air.
Nope. You said it's 5 stars.
Oh, that's
You
right.
didn't say I'm not going to look. You said it's 5 stars. And I was like, no fucking way.
5.1.
In fact, I bet you have a shitty Uber rating.
Nope, it's even higher than 5. They don't even give that to most people.
And you know why I think you have a shitty Uber rating?
Why?
Because you got a heavy car door arm.
I can't believe
You're
you
a
think
slammer.
that. I don't slam it at all.
You are super slammy.
I close it. I push with the exact right amount where it'll safely lock and close, and there's no question that it's ever gonna pop back out.
You're a slammy guy.
I don't slam doors in cars.
You 100% do. Not slam. Okay, but you got a heavy arm.
No, I don't.
I think you do.
Have you ever been in the car? What does this say? 4. Mark just showed us his Uber rating.
Oh my God, producer Mark has
4.9.
4.9 Uber rating.
Holy shit.
I bet he's never slammed a door in his fucking life.
Wait, have you been in the car when I've closed it?
Yes.
And it sounds
Heavy.
fuck that, man.
I'm not saying every time. I'm just saying all it takes is one driver who thinks your arm is heavy. And I bring this up because I had read somewhere that that's the number one reason for your rating to go down. Drivers will be like, that person slammed the door. And then they just give you a bad rating. And I was just in a car the other night, not with you, with another friend who slammed the door so loud when they got out that I was like, oh, fuck. Their Uber rating's got to be in the toilet.
Wow.
Sure enough, later on, that person tried to hail an Uber and couldn't get one. And so I hailed them an Uber.
How do you close the door?
And it I kiss it. I put a little, and then I kiss it, and then I close it, and I say, thank you, the whole time.
That's beautiful.
No, I don't. I just try and close it, keeping in mind that if I don't close it quietly, they're going to ding my rating.
Damn. I usually turn my back to it and then backwards kick it closed and then keep walking.
Okay, what's your fucking rating? I got to know now because I've got to look mine up too.
It's going to be better than Mark's.
Mark's 4.9 is
4.9.
fucking phenomenal.
That means he's slipped up. I've never slipped up.
4.9 means people fucking love you. Oh, what? Here,
You want to see it?
Yes, I do. Where is it?
Upper right.
Oh shit. That's okay.
That's what? Wow.
Yep. I'm a 4.82.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as good as Mark's. You're a 4.79.
4.79. But I've gotten into some fights with Uber drivers. I've gotten in multiple fights with Uber
I feel like
drivers.
4.79 is pretty good. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Is it really?
Yes.
What do you think? I'm a 4.6er?
I thought you were going to be like a 4.5.
Fuck you, Mary Jane. If I was a 4 or 5, you can't talk to me. That is the biggest red flag I can think of in interpersonal relationships.
Really?
If you're a 4 or 5 in Uber, you're a bad person. You are a bad person. That means you puke everywhere and you cuss people out and you get in fights.
Do you think that should be part of like an online dating, like Tinder profile question mark? I don't even know. I've never been on Tinder, but
if Uber could connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be able to show your rating.
You have to show your rating.
Right. Like you have to show that you're a registered voter.
Yes.
And your Uber rating and that you're an organ donor.
I love that.
That's all three. Like you just need to check all those boxes for me, right?
Yes.
Those are reasonable things.
Those not only reasonable but important.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
479, I can't believe you think I slam doors. I don't fucking slam doors. And I don't slam trunks either. I'm gentle with both.
I like ribbing you about it because you get to rib me about so much, and there's very little that there's very. You're like when I'm trying to scale you like a comedy cliff. There's not much there sometimes because you keep it tight.
I keep it tight.
So it's good to be able to rib you about the fact that my Uber rating is much, much better than yours.
I'll never fuck you. Fuck you.
Astronomically better.
I'm more fun in an Uber. That's what it is. I'm more fun.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough. Sometimes I'm grinding.
I'm debating. I'm having fun calling the driver who is spouting out crazy conspiracy theories 3 minutes into the ride.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just trying to get along with them until they show us a picture of them and Obama.
Please don't make me into a skin suit.
Yeah.
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 Those people love me. So the Uber one that I think put me in the pits is when I was in Chicago.
Okay.
And the woman who picked me up from the Laugh Factory, as soon as I got in, she goes, all these people are giving me bad ratings because they say I don't know what I'm doing. I just wish everyone would chill out. And then she ran through the red light and then past the hotel I was staying at by a good block, and then just stopped. And she was speeding. She was in every single lane just talking to me, looking back at me as she's driving. I was like, oh yeah, hey, can you not do that? And I started getting mad at her because it's my life. I'm not getting in that fucking car. And I gave her a straight up 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I was like, this should not be your job. Please don't make this your job. You
Yeah.
are dangerous. And she definitely didn't enjoy me either. So I think that was a 2-star system for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like, what are you doing in the other side of the road?
Yeah. I hope that person doesn't have her Uber driver license or register, whatever it's called anymore.
I didn't tip her. Is that okay?
Yes, that is okay.
Is it?
It's really okay not to tip someone when they scare you.
Okay, good. Well, because coming back here where somebody said to me the other day, they were like, I'm not tipping someone for pouring me a coffee. And I was like, why? It's literally just for a coffee. Give them $1. Who cares?
Give them $1.
And they're like, I don't do that shit. And we got into it a little bit.
Wow.
But then when we were traveling, I learned that I didn't know tip culture is a real culture. I didn't know that America is a place where that exists. In other places, it does not.
Mm-hmm.
I was not prepared for that.
Oh,
And
wow.
it felt very uncomfortable to not include that in something. I felt guilty until I didn't anymore. But it was really interesting to learn how other people live, because I'm in such a fucking bubble and microcosm, and I always have been, just as a selfish young man. So it was very interesting to just learn how other people live and how we can live.
Yeah. You mean without? What do you mean about how
Tipping.
we can live? Oh, I see
taking
what
a
you mean.
Sunday off.
Mm-hmm.
Not working 900 jobs and instead sitting down and having a cup of coffee at 2 PM and being okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Riding a bike.
Yeah. These, yes.
You know
all
what I mean?
wonderful
Letting your
things.
dog jump in a fountain and nobody's calling the cops on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amsterdam vibes.
Fuck yeah, man.
Mhm.
Amsterdam vibes. That's where I want to live. I want to get a place in Alaska. I want to get a place in Amsterdam, and I want to live here. Those are my 3 hubs.
Alaska, LA, Amsterdam?
Yeah.
That sounds very civilized.
It's so good.
Mhm.
It's what I want.
That sounds like a perfect trinity of things.
Yeah.
Of places.
Mm.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't
Oh,
know why
no-
I went on that jag.
No, I mean, just on the tipping front, it is in our tipping culture, for instance, I just had a manicure recently, and I went to a new place for the first time, and she cut me with the file. She made me
What?
actually bleed, and then gave me a really bad manicure, and I tipped, of course, because I just know that salon workers are historically fucking underpaid. She doesn't make very much money, and so the fact that I just was like, I can't not tip this person,
Right.
Um,
Again, though, the argument is then you shouldn't have that. Then do another thing. Maybe I
Right.
can untip you out of you hurting other people.
right? Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
that's a legit fair Or I guess you have to give them the freedom of the doubt to get better at what they are doing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the other side of that. Is
Yeah.
like you can't throw a frisbee until you try 100 times in a row.
I feel like if it's vehicular, though, that maybe they should just immediately not have that opportunity to.
Right.
Like, that's different than being hurt by a manicurist.
Yeah. Like, I don't want people who are high driving forklifts and getting me from A to B.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
Wait, you take a forklift from A to B?
No, I'm saying you shouldn't drive a forklift from A to B. No, what am I saying?
I have.
No, you
Your
shouldn't
brain-
drive forklifts if you're high, like construction jobs.
Sure.
You shouldn't smoke weed and do heavy machinery stuff.
Right.
And you shouldn't drive me around, or I shouldn't drive others around when I'm high as well.
Correct.
That's
Unless
what
you're
I'm
really
saying.
good at driving when you're high, which some people are.
I don't want to know. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know if you're high. That's going to ruin my ride. You know, I just need to know I can trust you.
Yeah.
Can I see your manicure?
And I've since got a better manicure
Oh, nice.
because that one didn't last. Because anyway, yeah, it was a bummer, and I just won't go back. And I hope that maybe that person was just not having a great day and is, having better days all the time and getting better at manicures.
I can't do it. I tried to cut my nails.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and I always cut to the quick, and then I still bleed as if I was biting them.
Wait, you cut them to the quick?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, because I cut them like I used to bite them
Right.
to the quick. Because I like to feel the best part about eating your body is when you inflict self-pain, and
Oh,
that is
yeah.
the best release I can think of for any kind of anxiety. Like I've never cut
Sure.
before,
Right.
but I do feel like possibly biting your nails until they bleed is a subsection of cutting. That
Yeah.
is still like the most beautiful release from anything that you're feeling through self-inflicted harm.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I love it. It's still hard not to bite my nails for that exact reason.
Mhm.
Because it's it's not even about the act, and it's not even about the comfort of having something in your mouth like you're a baby.
Mhm.
It is about feeling pain.
Yeah.
Oof. And I love it so much. And so yeah, if I saw that manicurist, I'd get rock hard. It would be insane.
Wild. I do know that feeling of definitely for me it's pulling hair. I
Really?
get that one random hair that's really exciting to fixate on and then yank out. Oh, feels great.
I've never done that.
Yo, you could do it all over your whole
Is
body.
that why you do your when you do your
Oh
eyebrows?
yeah, my eyebrows don't even grow back anymore because I just used to fucking go crazy on them. And yeah, because I have naturally a Frida Kahlo situation.
You do?
Mhm.
You should rock that. That would look
I
great.
wish I could. I can't grow it back.
Oh.
I've tried. This is
That's your head.
This is what I look like now.
Okay.
The overplucking, there was a whole crazy thing that happened in kind of the 90s and early 2000s when it was thin eyebrows were in. And so a lot of people suffer from an overplucked eyebrow. And I luckily I'm not super crazy thin, but yeah, I used to have a full Ernie.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I should show you my passport photo from when I was 21.
Really? Is
Yeah.
it just a bowl cut and
It's
a straight
full
across?
on, yeah. Oh yeah. She was adorable. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice. What are we at?
We
50?
Yeah, we can wrap soon.
Something? Okay. I wanted to also talk about this maple syrup thing because we haven't talked about any food from our travels, and I know we always wait till the end to actually talk about the thing that we
Actually,
love the most.
Before we talk, well, okay, I can talk about the maple syrup thing.
But what?
Well, I just also wanted to say that there's a herring sandwich thing that we need to talk about.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I really wanted to do Anthony Bourdain proud while I was in places for the first time. I've been thinking a lot about him and Virgil, especially when I was in Paris and London and all these new places where I was just trying to see fashion and food, the things that really speak to me. And I wanted to do Virgil proud, and I wanted to do Anthony Bourdain proud.
Yeah.
And so at a fucking
I love that you're
farmer's
connecting your
market.
herring sandwich to Virgil Abloh. It's yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I got to have experiences to make good art. And
Mhm.
and man, herring sandwiches, 3 pounds, or what is it in Amsterdam? Is it a pound? The euro.
What? Oh,
It-
no, it's euros.
It's the euro. Okay,
Mhm.
so 3
I
euros,
was 3 pounds of herring. Jesus.
3 pounds of herring per sandwich. Tiny bit of mustard, which I had notes on.
An enormous 3-pound herring sandwich. Just it's great. New special from
He was this-
Amsterdam Subway.
the
The 3-pound herring special.
A little provolone melted,
Yeah. Oh God.
mayonnaise, spicy mustard
Dill pickle.
on your Italian.
Oh my God.
So herring sandwich, 3 pounds, hot dog bun, herring that was cooked but not cooked. I don't know how to
I think it's
describe
just
what it is.
cured, is my
Cured, thank you.
understanding. It's not
yeah.
cooked. It's cured.
It's not cooked at all.
Right.
But it is safe to eat.
It's treated. Yeah.
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 Onions,
Mhm.
pickle, and a smear of mustard in a hot dog bun. So it's a herring hot dog.
Mhm.
And it was 3 pounds, and I was like, fuck yeah, Anthony would eat this. I'm gonna eat this.
Mhm.
And it is the worst, with the exception of uncleaned intestines at that Chinese restaurant. This is the second worst thing I've ever put in my fucking mouth.
Wow.
By far. Leaves everything else in the dust. It was not only disgusting and texturally gelatinous and acidic and gross and hard to fucking swallow, but like the fact that there were so many people going up to get it blew my fucking mind.
Mhm.
I waited in line for that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. And I've since spoken to someone who I was telling about it, and they were like, "Oh, it's my fucking favorite thing." Yeah. People love it. Cured. It's a Scandinavian thing. I don't know. I've never tried it. I've had like pickled herring, but it wasn't like pickled, was it?
No, it was
Okay.
fucking gross. The pickling came from like the sharpness of the onion and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of acidity.
Yeah, the cross section you sent me grossed me out so much that I had to bury my face. I sent you a picture of me and was like, zoom in, and I was inside your sandwich making a gross face because that shit was disgusting.
Should we put that on this?
Sure.
Okay.
I was proud of myself.
We have to put like a sensitive content warning before this fucking sandwich cross section.
Yeah.
It's revolting, and it tasted fucking revolting.
Mhm.
Yeah, herring is so gross. And it also had the skin on, but the skin wasn't cooked.
That's
But
so
you could still
weird.
bite through it.
Because we had sardines. Remember that like beautiful tin of oiled sardines that were like similarly shaped and sized and
Yeah,
so
didn't we eat
delicious.
those bones and all?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're pressure cooked in the can, so that actually makes the bones soft.
Okay.
But so it was nothing like that. Nothing like a canned sardine.
No,
I
not
can't
at all.
imagine what this was like. It sounds like.
It wasn't. I mean, the fish is oily maybe by natural
Mhm.
oilness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no process to it where I was like, oh, I'm tasting a process. It was just like, I don't know. I don't know.
A mouthful of raw fish.
A fucking herring.
Right.
It's seal food. That's what it is.
Totally.
It's seal food in a hot dog bun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm supposed to like enjoy that.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Sorry, Amsterdam. I love everything about you but that sandwich.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Fair enough.
The flip of it is I treated myself to a Michelin-starred meal on my very last night in Amsterdam.
Whoa.
2 Michi stars,
Okay.
graphite, and it was one of the best meal experiences I've ever had. Solo dining. I think I've eaten some great meals with you that I would separate because of the experience of eating with you. But as a solo diner, one of the best experiences in my life, food-wise.
That's awesome.
Shout out Graphite. Shout out their whole team.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I got to see some fucking hot pics.
I will show you. I took
Okay.
all of them. I didn't want to tell you about it until on pod, low key. And I have so many pictures. It's a tasting menu. Shout out Maxim for giving me the perfect bottle of white wine to drink it with.
Wow.
There was lava involved. I don't know.
There was lava involved in the wine?
Yeah.
Oh,
Some kind of like lava situation.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Sounds very fancy.
And the other coolest thing about Graphite, 2 things. One is they send you a QR code,
Mhm.
but the building is unmarked, and you
Oh.
have to find this little light that is kind of around the corner a bit from the address. And underneath that light, you scan your QR code and the door pops open and unlatches,
Whoa.
which is very fun. And then it's this whole speakeasy situation.
That's some John Wick vibes.
Oh my God.
Cool.
That is where John Wick should be in his new one.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
With his dog next to him.
I fucking, yes.
Yes. And the other thing about it is all of their awards and accolades
Mm-hmm.
tucked into a corner on a shelf.
Right.
Right?
You don't need to put that shit out there.
Mm-mm.
Comfortable, confident.
Fuck yeah.
Great. Graphite.
I want to say a couple more things and then I'll just drop
Yeah.
pictures. The service was incredible. They give you all of these different utensils. And so you have a trident looking thing, you have a fork, you have a spork, you have a spoon, you have a long spoon, you have a very long fork, you have a salad fork, dinner fork, you have like all these chopsticks, all these utensils, because the idea is we're just going to keep the courses coming. Pick and choose, play around, have a nice time trying a spork, try a trident. So when I had the soft shell crab,
Mm-hmm.
I used the trident.
Yeah.
It was hella fun.
That's fucking awesome. And
Yeah.
it's just all laid out for you to just like experiment with your cutlery.
Totally.
That sounds like it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other cool thing was they could tell I was geeking out because I even said, I was like, tell the chef this is one of the best bites I've ever had, but
Mhm.
don't make it weird. I said something like
Don't
that.
make it weird.
You know what I mean?
Great.
Because it was
Yeah.
like, you know,
Be cool, man.
Be cool, man.
Be cool.
But I'm also like in it for this.
Sure.
And afterwards, they were like, hey, do you want to come to the kitchen? and hang out with everyone. And it was like a tiny kitchen, 4-5 people in there.
Wow.
The place is pristine, but it's small. You know that you're like touching butts with every move. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the other cool thing about it, I was talking to the chef there.
Oh, wait, now touching butts in a creepy way, just like brushing up against people?
Yeah, everyone's butts are brushing.
Gotcha. I was like, wait, who's touching whose butt? And are we all okay with it?
I know I'm trying to say something really nice, and then I send this to Graphite, and they're like, hey,
touching butts? Hey,
you're not welcome back.
Oh, this is very cool. Wow. Awesome.
And so I'm talking to the CDC there, the chef de cuisine, and he was like, tell me about yourself. And I was talking about the pod and everything. And he said the cool thing is they're in menu transition right now.
Mm-hmm.
And him and his team, the owner, the lead chef was not there,
Mm-hmm.
but his team was there. And so some of the dishes I tried where I was like, these are crazy, were created by the CDC and his team. So I was like tasting half of the new menu as they transition from the old to the new. And I was a guinea pig for things that they're going to show to chef to try and get on the menu, which I always want to be a part of.
Always be a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be a good restaurant name.
Always be a guinea pig. Always ABAGP. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could be the cook quiet on the DL. Yeah.
Something small on the
Always
sweatshirt.
be a guinea pig.
I mean, honestly, that my butt of the week this week is going to be that chef
Great.
and Graphite, but we don't have to get there yet. We can keep talking
We
food.
could get there. Well, I was disappointed. I do have to say I had signed up for Noma just in case something became available while I was over hanging with you. And the day I flew out, I got a notice that there was a reservation at Noma waiting for me. And I was like, oh.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the day I flew out.
Was Noma Day?
That was the day I got the notification that it was the next day there was a reservation available.
Oh my fucking
Yeah,
God.
I left on a Friday and it was like Saturday we have a reservation.
A Saturday reservation
A
at Noma?
Saturday reservation at Noma. I know. And I truly did look into changing my ticket right then and there.
Yeah.
And it would have cost, I just couldn't do it.
I don't even know how to get to fucking Iceland. Isn't that where it is?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Mhm.
I don't even know how to get to Denmark from wherever the fuck we
You
were.
weren't far.
Really?
Yeah, everything is
Oh,
like you could just
God.
hop around. So just putting it out there that we got to go back. Like obviously I want to go back to Europe and experience so many more places with you and run around Spain and Italy and Portugal and Greece. And there's so many fucking places to go. But Noma is obviously top of the list.
Wow.
Mhm.
Did you have any other good food while you were in Edinburgh and Paris and London? Anything that sticks out to you?
Edinburgh wrecked me. My body didn't feel good after visiting you in Edinburgh.
I think I told them about it,
Ugh.
and they said, you know that sometimes I don't know if it was true or not, but they were like, you might have been served rat.
I don't feel like I was served rat. I just feel like I got scurvy because I never ate a vegetable.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't feel good after Edinburgh. But then in London,
My joke was,
Oh.
why do these toilets have a number 2 flusher and a number 1 flusher when all of it's diarrhea? Like, just do whatever the heaviest flush is and just do that for every single
no
use.
saving water with anything that's coming out of you.
You can't save water.
No.
I can't save water.
Fill in a bowl every time. Fill in that bowl, just loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, it was not enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I did have to go to I had a nightclub bathroom situation at one point with an Edinburgh diet. I was like, this just doesn't feel good.
Not to get too graphic and gross,
Mhm.
but did you two in a bar stall?
Had to.
Had to.
Yep.
Props to you, Mary Jane.
Well,
Strong props. That
Listen,
is impressive
not
and
a good time.
terrifying.
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 I mean, not terrifying. I'm fine because, like I've gone elsewhere in worse circumstances, like a hot portalette at Burning Man, for instance.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I've been there, but this was definitely not a good experience.
Wow. Props to you.
So Edinburgh wrecked me.
Yeah.
And then London was also kind of wrecking me until Ottolenghi.
Yeah.
And that was a good meal. It felt good on my body, mostly plant-based, beautiful flavors, excellent service, wonderful vibe. I don't think I expected it to be quite so like a family of restaurants. Like I thought he would. I didn't realize that Chef Ottolenghi has like an empire.
Yeah, right.
Like so many American chefs that I know of have like empires here. I don't know why. I didn't expect that he wouldn't have a fucking empire, but
But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be 4 restaurants spread out over a handful of cities.
mhm.
But no, it was like there was one in a lot of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can see why, because that food was delicious.
Big fat broad beans. I think I'm a bean guy now.
Oh, you're
a
a
creamy
bean?
bean.
Creamy beans.
You know, where it's a little hard on the outside and creamy on the inside, like
Mhm.
a French fry.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm a bean guy now, especially after that Ottolenghi bean situation.
Nice.
Yeah,
That was good.
it was really good.
Yeah, and then there was that fucking oyster slurp in Paris that felt like I like went up and hung out with angels for a minute. You know?
I love how every episode, because we recorded next week's episode before this,
Mhm.
and just as a little spoiler alert, I think the new theme is like, what made Mary Jane cream this week? Can we call it Cream Corner or something?
Cream corner.
Is that too gross?
I love it.
Okay.
It is definitely gross. Someone out there is going to be like, ew, but that's what we're calling it.
That's what we're calling it. Mary Jane's Cream Corner.
Oh, man. Okay.
Because that oyster slurp.
So introducing the cream corner this week, first ever, was the oyster slurp that you and I had. Yeah, it was fucking amazing to go to this just little like market street, found a fishmonger, the sexiest fishmonger I've ever seen, who was like in these like high rubber boots and like jeans and this like stylish sweater with her hair. Like she was just so cool looking. And she said that we could sit down and have oysters in the restaurant next door, where the also very hot waitress came out and like picked out the oysters from the ice with her.
Yeah, that was very cool.
And then we got seated to have wine and oysters. And
Yeah.
it was just fucking magical.
And when she said, "Do you also want these tiny gray shrimp? You eat the whole thing?" I said,
Mhm.
"Yeah." And she goes, "Of course you do." And then winked at me. And I was like, "Oh, we're going to be back."
Yeah,
This is great. Yeah.
And then she showed us how to eat the shrimp, and because it was like a whole situation where you had to, full body.
Say more about that, though, because we both were like, whoa, that would never fly in America.
Oh, yeah, because she just like, brought everything over, and then she said, I need to show you how to eat these shrimp, because it's a whole shrimp thing, which I don't think we would have known without this tutorial. And she picked one up out of her bowl and ate it right there, and then put the body or the little tail and down, and we're like, that just, a waiter would never do that.
A waiter would
A
not touch
server
her.
would never do that.
Fuck
And,
no.
Yeah,
Instead, she was like, "I'm going to eat one of yours and show
Yeah,
you how to do it."
it was great.
fucking awesome.
And she was sexy. So, and then we slurped those oysters, and the big ones that she called the Rolls Royce. She was like, they're very voluptuous. And then they truly were. And then I think it's Gauloises.
There's that video that you took of me slurping
Oh,
one
we'll
and then
put that
showing
up.
the G on
Yeah.
the bottom. I watched it last night. Sorry, I was jacking off.
Jerking off to your oyster porn. We'll have Mike's jerk off corner, because spoiler alert, next week we talk about you jerking off to tarot cards.
Oh yeah.
So there's cream corner and what, jerk off corner?
Jerk off
No,
corner.
No, we can't call it that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jerk off adjacent
J-
to the corner, to cream corner.
Oh my God.
I'm jerk off adjacent to cream corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. The alleyway behind cream corner. Woo. So yeah, those fucking oysters.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember anything else. And then everything's a blur since then.
I feel that.
Right?
Yeah, totally. Since I've been back, I want to shout out a couple more things.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe go.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I'm ready for dinner.
Oh, word. Okay, great. Speaking of, the only things I want to shout out is the psychedelic conference,
Yes.
where also we had some great food and
Mhm.
we smoked some great weed and met some amazing people and took some great mushrooms.
Yep.
So it's just really important to shout that out as
Yeah.
well.
So the Oakland Psychedelic Conference, if you're not already following Oakland Hyphae on Instagram, go follow Oakland Hyphae and look for everything that Reggie Harris is doing with that amazing organization. And then the people at the Psychedelic Conference, like they just assembled this, panels of incredible experts and OGs and people who are coming up in the the foraging and mycology world. And they had great sponsors and stuff. So you can check everything out, I think, on their Instagram. And then, we met new people who I think everyone should fuck with too. I'm going to make one of them my butt of the week. So
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
The last thing I will add to that is Reggie he's been on the pod. You can check out that episode.
Yeah.
We got to microdose and do stand up on his panel. It was fucking phenomenal. And he is also doing one in Washington, D.C. It might have passed by the
I think
time
it's
this
done.
dropped.
Yeah.
But just the very idea that something that he started on his own is not a one-person team, but it's a very small team, and it's going all the way from Oakland to now it's a part of the Emerald Cup to now it's going to be, they did an East Coast one. So this thing is fucking blowing up for all the right reasons.
Yep.
And I just want to say congrats on that. So if you're looking to be in the mushroom game, just like we talked about at the beginning of this episode, get on board and fuck with Oakland Hyphae.
Yeah.
What's the bet? I have the hoodie. What's the bet? Oh, fuck around and find out. Yo.
Which is like about mushrooms.
Fuck
like,
yeah, it is.
Fuck around with them. Find out about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also Oakland Hyphae started Hyphae Labs, which is the first ever psilocybin testing lab in the US. So it's just like they're at the fucking vanguard. They're at the forefront of everything.
Fucking cool.
And they're amazing people.
Hell yes.
And that was so fun. Are we going to do Beds of the Week? Because I have mine pulled up, or what other things do we
I just
have?
wanted to shout out Roger and the entire Puffco family.
Oh, fuck yes.
Before Buds of the Week. Going to PuffCon yesterday and not only seeing our Alaska friends, Zach and Joe, and running into everyone. It was packed out. Everyone had their Puffco. I don't know. You've seen the video. I turned down other dab machines on fucking camera because I only fuck with Puffco. And it was really cool to be able to do stand up during their corporate night and celebrate everyone who makes Puffco a reality. And then the next day for all the people in the world. They're so tapped into fucking culture. And they're not only tapped into weed culture, but they're tapped into like tech culture, and they're tapped into like fashion and food. Like it's just a fucking real heartbeat that Roger and his whole team have created. And I just fuck with it so heavy. And always will, as somebody who like loves weed and loves people doing good things with big ideas. So I have to shout out Puffco and PuffCon as well.
Awesome. I'm sorry I missed it. It was a fucking bummer to miss it, but I love just like, it's so fun to hop on the Instagram story and just watch like the 10,000 segments of reposting everyone who's just having the best time of their lives.
Yeah. And I had bootleg pizza there for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of the show, Liz, came at me and said, well, you haven't had Prince Street yet, so you better slow down on your bootleg love. So there's a little competition going as far as deep Brooklyn style slices is concerned. Right now, bootleg's my number one. Princess Street, I've never had it. Open to understanding it, but
That's
we'll
with
see.
the pepperoni cups, right?
Yeah.
Gotta try it.
We'll see.
All right.
All right. Buds of the Week.
Buds of the Week. So my bud of the week, I'd love to go first, if that's okay.
Yeah.
We met at the Oakland Psychedelic Conference when Dennis Walker was part of the comedy panel. It was Mike and Langston, Avery, and Dennis. And I was on there too. And anyway, Dennis is awesome. He has a podcast called the Micropreneur Podcast. And he's just like fucking making really cool, funny, weird, offbeat, thoughtful Instagram posts and content, and then has this amazing podcast. And he's just really fun hang, and it was a great time getting to know him. And when we all microdosed together and just like sparkled around for the afternoon, it felt very connected and cool and sort of like a great new friend to make. So and shout out also Langston, just as the most amazing MC of the conference that weekend. It was truly incredible.
Yeah.
So you can follow Micropreneur Podcast, and I think Langston is King Lang Bang on IG. Yeah.
Great dudes.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic people.
My bud of the week this week, I was talking about graphite in Amsterdam, and my bud of the week this week is their CDC, Andy Vendenbos, at Andy VDBOS. Andy Vendenbos. He drops a lot of IG stories, but he only has 10 posts on the grid, and look at him. It's all food that he's created with the graphite team.
Yeah. Wow.
Great dude. Cares deeply about food and was so happy. It was nice to meet a chef after a very long shift who is just happy to show off what he and his team do night in, night out, day in, day out. And like the pride that they took and the energy that they put into that room, and I felt from them, was fucking second to none. So I can't wait to live in Amsterdam and take you to Graphite, Mary Jane. And in the meantime,
visit and I will go.
My bud of the week this week, Andy, and the whole Graphite team. Good bud of the week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great bud of the week. Well, this is fucking nice to be back. We're moosing it.
Yeah. I feel out of practice. So thanks for doing
Yeah.
a moose with me so I can get back in the flow. I feel off my game after a little time.
It's definitely like, yeah, it's, it is a muscle, right?
Yeah.
It is a muscle. So it's good to be working it out with you again. I'm also going to get back to my fucking routines now that I'm in LA of working out again too. So
Nice.
let's work out on the pod and off the pod.
I'd give myself a 4.79 funny rating in this one, in fact.
4.79?
Yeah, I think it's a little lower than I wanted it to be in terms
Okay.
of comediness.
Mhm.
But maybe I'm a slammer. And I got to embrace being a slammer, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself a 4.8 too.
Fuck.
Yeah, just
Funnier?
a little better than you. Just a little better.
As it should be. As it should
Never,
be.
never. We know that. But anyway, it's fun to say.
All right. You want to go figure out what to get for dinner?
Yeah, I'm excited to eat some mac and cheese.
Oh, nice. I was thinking cacio e pepe.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Let's
been
go.
on a noodle slurp tip lately.
I need to go slurp some nudes. Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
great.
go.
Thank you all for listening. You can follow us at Weed and Grub on Instagram and TikTok, but that's Mike and Mary Jane.
Right.
TikTok, Mike and Mary Jane. We got to get that TikTok follower up. We got to get it up, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so important to get it up.
We'd also love to get more reviews and stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you want to rate and review us, because that helps so much. And we are growing, but we love growing even faster.
Yeah.
So please let your friends know about us, because we love what we do, and this is a good time.
And I need a new car.
Oh my God.
I
We're
need
not
a
making
new
your
bed.
No, that's not what this is about, Mike.
What are you talking about?
Getting a new car and a new bed?
Yeah.
You need us to have more followers so you can get a new car and a new bed?
I need a new car and I need a new bed.
Okay.
But you're saying it's not what this is about?
I mean,
Say more.
I don't know.
I'm not wrapping up beyond that.
I don't know if I would say that I want a new car or a new anything because of this podcast.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I do this because I love it.
Right.
And I love doing it with you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Again, 4.79, because I thought that would be a good joke.
I do love doing this with you. And thank you all for listening. WG@weedandgrub.com is our email. Fuck with us.
Fuck with us.
Fuck with us.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.